Do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Yeah. Thanks, Shia. We are now in the stream mindset. Thank you, Shia LaBeouf. And we're going to be drumming this morning, playing some cheeses. Bunch of different exercises, chop exercises, and whatnot that have cheeses in it. And you can find it here, jaredoleary.com/drum. There's almost 2,000 hours of free drumming content. There's a bunch of chop exercises. There's some limb-independent stuff. There's over 700 grid variations, triplet and 16th note combined. There's a bunch of tips and whatnot that I recommend for how to improve as a drummer. And then some technique exercises. I'm adding a new play-along every single day. Right now, for the next month or so, it's a bunch of swung triplet grid sticking variations, both forward and backwards. So stay tuned for that. By the way, if you don't know, I've been playing for over 25 years, and I still have plenty to work on. So I'm not going to be practicing today as much as I'm just going to be having fun chopping out with stuff. So the thing that I'm going to start off with is the float drag exercises with cheeses. So we're going to do this one, and we're going to do it with cheeses. And we're going to warm this up, and then stretch and massage, and then we're actually going to get into the other variations, just chopping out with it. Okay. Volume is up. We're good to go. Okay, 130. I'm probably going to stop around 140, stretch and massage, and then we'll go as fast as I possibly can. Just to chop out with it. I pressed the thumb back button on the mouse. Not what I meant to do. All right, 135. Click. Go. Sometimes it, doesn't scroll back up to the top automatically. YouTube, come on. I added in extra cheese on the float drag. Whoopsies. Making it harder than it is. Did it again. Why do I keep doing that? still a little tired. Didn't stream yesterday because I was way too tired. So I just edited offline. I'm still waking up, apparently. Alright, last rep. Stretch and massage after that. To stretch and massage, first thing I'm going to do is hold the sticks like this so that it's palm facing up, itch my nose. That's the first step of the stretch. You pull it in, you follow through, and you push it out. It's a good little stretch. Here's what it looks like from the front. If you're watching it on widescreen, that is. If you are watching it vertical, then the camera angles did not change at all. Or I guess not necessarily the angle, but which camera was focused. But you know what I mean. Maybe you don't. And then you just go out of it the way that you came. If you're doing traditional grip, rotate and hold right here. Then rotate and hold right here. And do that for like 20, 30 seconds. But I don't do that anymore. Now, the next stretch we're going to do is the underside, the tendons. So you could do it one at a time like this. Ooh, that feels great. You could do this on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. You could do this on your drums. I'm going to go ahead and do it on the drums. I haven't done it this way in a while, so we'll do this. Got coffee on the drum pad. Whoops. Don't put all your weight into it. And then we're going to stretch the top side. So you could do it one at a time like this, just kind of pulling it towards you, and it stretches along here. You could do this on the wall. The higher you go, the deeper the stretch. Or you could do this like on your pad or even on your legs like this. I'm going to just go ahead and do it on the pad. Again, don't put all your weight into it. We're good. All right, now we're going to stretch the fingers. So you could do this one at a time, but I'm going to make it twice as fast by doing thumb to thumb. It's extremely important to take care of your hands, your wrists, your fingers, etc. If you don't do that, you won't be able to drum. Ask me how I know. Had all sorts of injuries when I was younger. Drumming related or just like other things, like working out too much or whatever. Overstressing different muscles. And it led to some issues, prevented me from drumming. And I was like, I like drumming. Doing that thing made it so I couldn't drum. Let's find some ways to make it so I can keep drumming. And, ooh, little ASMR pops there. You're welcome. Enjoy. No extra cost to you. Okay, we're going to now massage. So I'm going to do thumb on top, massaging along the different muscles and whatnot, and then fingers underneath, massaging up and down the forearm. Ooh-wee. Try and get nice and relaxed. You can switch it up. Kind of like kneading dough a little bit. Okay. You might also need to massage like your upper arm, your bicep, triceps, maybe even your shoulders, maybe even your neck. Just depends on how you're feeling. Tension up here goes to tension down here and just kind of works its way through it, and it will affect your playing. So you got to make sure that you're nice and relaxed from the head down, not just the forearms and the wrists and the fingers, etc. Actually, that might be an interesting thing to talk about. So drummers will often take care of their hands and their wrists and maybe their forearms whenever they are practicing by massaging, stretching, etc. But another thing you got to consider is what's above your forearm. So you might have a tight bicep if you play traditional grip, or maybe from working out you might have a tight tricep, or maybe your shoulders are going to be tight. All of these instances of tightness can work their way down into your arms, your wrists, your fingers, etc. So that will negatively impact your playing, make it so that you are too tight, you won't have as good of endurance, and you won't be able to play as fast or as relaxed as you normally would. So make sure you're not just taking care of the lower part of your arm, but also the upper, and maybe even your shoulder, neck, etc. Try and be helpful with the little clips that I share. Seems to resonate with some people. So I create more. Also, it's just what I wish I had when I was learning how to drum. Ooh. A little tight there. Like all these play-alongs and whatnot. Oh, that would have been amazing to have that. My interp would have been a lot better. Would have been better at listening in as well. Now I'm going to massage the palm. So I'm going to do the thumb massaging here, and then the fingers massaging back here. I'm going to get everything nice and relaxed. I got to work on better hooks for how I share information. I'm mainly used to teaching in person. I've taught every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student, and 95% of that has been in person, face-to-face, so I can clarify things and assume a buy-in. But when people are swiping through stuff fast, I can't assume that buy-in. So I have to figure out how to repackage the things that I would teach in ways that's more of jingling the keys and whatnot for people who are just ready to swipe away at a moment's notice. Even though I feel like I have valuable content to share because I've been doing this forever and I've taught forever, I don't know how to package it in a way that people want to listen in that medium yet. So we're working on that slowly. Now what I'm going to do is massage from base to tip the fingers. And so you do this at least 2 times. Ooh, a little pop there. Again, no extra charge to you. Enjoy that ASMR. And we'll do that maybe 3 or 4 times, depending on how the finger's feeling. But so far, it's been all right with about 2. Okay. Switch to the other hand. And then we're going to play through this exercise one more time. Well, not one more time, a few more times. We're going to try and get to a chop out point, so to the point where it just completely crashes and burns. So stay tuned for that. All right, so we're going to resume at 140, I believe is where I left off. Okay. We survived. Going into the timestamps, and we're going to jump up by 10. Why not? Yeah, it'll be great. Or not. We'll find out. +7 energy. I left off the diddle. Oh no. Unsub. 160. Here we go. I'm going to lower the heights just a little bit. We'll try 170. On today's ASMR drumming experience. Let's try 175. Vintage landscapes. What? 3 hours of art TV. Interesting. I wonder if you put that like on your TV to make it look like you have artwork or something. Is that what that's for? I don't know. We don't keep our TV on unless we're actually using it. It seems like it would die a lot sooner. That's definitely like on that cusp of the breaking point. So let's jump off that edge and splash into the water down below. Don't worry, it's not that far of a jump. Yikes! Whew, my hands are tired. I wonder why. There are several more variations of this exercise with like flam fives, chutta-chas, cheese chutta-chas, chut cheeses, and flam drags. And you can find all that at the link at the top of the screen, jaredoleary.com/drum. Or, you know, if you want to just stay on YouTube, if you go here, I can't subscribe to myself, then you can go to the playlists or the home screen and just click on drumming content, and boom, it'll only show you the drumming stuff. All of the drumming playlists in one location. Because I create gaming and computer science education stuff as well. And life stuff, like the vlog with my wifey that we had in May when we went to Hawaii. It was fun. So try and keep it organized for you. Same thing with the website. All the computer science education stuff is here. The drumming stuff is here. The gaming stuff is here. I don't really talk about it much, but there's also a percussion dictionary. This percussion dictionary is helpful for you to be like, what is piano? That means full. Piatti means cymbals. And if we scroll down, tambor militaire means a snare drum. Tambor de basque. I'm probably like mispronouncing these. Means tambourine. All this can be found at the top of the screen, and you can jump to like, what does the letter U have? Okay, well, Ungstrom. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I don't speak German. It means violent. So apparently you'd have a violent percussion part. Sounds dangerous. But you can find that just going to percussion dictionary or /dictionary on my website. Let's go back to here, the play-alongs, and we're going to do chase the grids. So we're going to do this. We're going to start off with normal grid, and then I'm going to show you a couple of fun variations that you can do. So this one, more. Let's start off at 120. Sure. So this is just standard grid on 1 forwards. So it's 4-2-1 instead of 1-2-4. So the 4 pattern, you play 4 accents, and then you shift it over 1. So we have partials. So we have the first one is the first measure. The second partial is the second measure. The third partial is the third measure. And then instead of doing 4 of each of those, you just do 2. So first partial, second partial, third partial. And then you repeat that for a second time. And then the 1 pattern, you just do 1 of each. First partial, second partial, third partial, and you repeat that a total of 4 times. And that's what you get when you do grid. And there is a backward version of this, and I do have that variation on here as well, in this cheesy playlist. Oh, before I forget. So, I had mentioned this on Reddit that I would talk about this, but let me think. What do I want to use? If you play traditional grip, a doorknob can actually help you improve your drumming. So how does it do that? Well, this is a little tip that I learned from Jeff Queen, who's like 4-time world champion snare drummer. One of the things that he said is that you can actually work on your endurance, your speed, your overall left hand strength, etc., by using a doorknob that has resistance, so one that will automatically snap back to its starting position because it's got a little spring inside of it. To work on this, you hold it like you would, same way with traditional. You just kind of put it in between your middle finger and your ring finger, like this, and you work on rotating your forearm, and this will work on your endurance, your strength, your speed, etc. So actually, in between sets in rehearsal, if the instructors were talking up top, I would just sit there and do this, or even walk around in school with my doorknob going, which I'm sure made me tons of friends. But you know what? I got better at drumming, and that's what I cared about more than what people thought about me walking around with a doorknob. So if you want to get better at traditional grip, try it. Little doorknob with resistance, and work on it. On that rotation, you can actually see what I was talking about earlier with the bicep moving up and down. That's normal in traditional grip or hold, however you want to call it. Grip, hold, semantics. I understand that it makes a difference. Just used to hearing it called grip more. Let's try it again. Smooth. Let's try it again. You can do it, Jared. Believe in yourself. We survived. Boom, 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 boom. I was like debating mentally like what I didn't like about that playthrough. Like what in particular was bleh. Couldn't quite put my finger on it. When I listen back to this recording of the stream, I'll find out. Let's go faster. Whee! Sorry. I got that down. The thumbs up kid at the computer. No, that's fine. You don't have to know it. We found the breaking point. Success. Yeah. All right. Let's go back. So this is one of 22 variations of cheeses. Again, there's a 1-4 version of this, which is backwards grid, which looks like this. Etc. Kind of butchered that a little bit, but that's an interesting, fun little variation if you would like to work that up as well. But I'm going to show you some more variations. So you can also work on cheese on accents, which is this one. And again, all of these in a timestamp, so you can jump to a specific BPM. Let's go to 120. 120. Okay, you're being difficult. Fine. I'll press F, and it'll make a full screen. Pro tip. I should have put a cheese there, but for consistency I didn't, but it could work. You don't have to. You do you. If you want to add in an extra little diddle there, go for it. If you don't, then you're just playing it as written. I forget if those are patty falafel or foo bars, the ones where it's alternating as opposed to 2 in a row. I think those are foo bars. And then the patty falafels are alternating, I think? I forget. I used to have up on the wall the 40 essential rudiments chart, and that would help me out in this moment. But other than that, most of those rudiments, not relevant. Like, who plays a... As somebody who did a lot of concert percussion and snare drum, I very rarely played a triple Radamacue. Unpopular opinion, but most of the 40 essential rudiments are not very essential in my opinion. Again, I don't play triplet Radamacues like ever. Instead, play a whole bunch of hybrid rudiments and whatnot, whether it's concert percussion or rudimental. Don't really use most of the stuff on there. Ew. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you disagree with me. how many of the 40 essential do you actually use? I mean, most of it is like rolls and whatnot, but you're just counting how long the roll is. I wouldn't really call each of those their own unique rudiment. All right, let's try 170. This will probably be the crash and burn point. Probably. Stay tuned, we're going to find out. This morning's episode of Jared Plays Things Fast. Yeah, that tricksy left hand. Still working on it. We'll get there. It's getting better. Slowly. Over time. A little peanut butter toast. Don't mind me. Mm-hmm. Go. We're going to do cheese before an accent now. As somebody who has taught every single grade kindergarten through doctoral student, I have to say that teaching online, making content online is significantly harder than any of those grade levels in person, because you don't have that opportunity to just like be able to, hey, how did that work for you? Do you understand that? Etc. That back and forth. And instead you just get comments of like people, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, well, no, I actually kind of do. I just need to maybe reframe it in a way that makes more sense to you. It's difficult. It's really weird, especially like with the jingling the keys you kind of need to do for a lot of people online, because they're going to swipe away immediately. Learning slowly. We'll get better. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What variation was I playing there? The world will never know. Go. You can do it, YouTube. I believe in you. Here we go. I honestly kind of like the challenge of like figuring out different ways to teach. Like it was something that I had to do when I was working with Students 101 is like if I had 30 kids in the class, I'd find 30 different ways to try and like help them so that we can meet their needs, their interests, etc. But when it's like thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people potentially watching your content, like it's a lot harder to do that, and you're not going to please everyone, that's for sure. Everybody's got their own opinion that is right for them. And they'll let you know in the comments. And I don't say that as a complaint. Like, it's just more of, you know, if we actually were in person and were able to have dialogue, we would agree with each other. And I could rephrase things. And you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's also interesting creating educational content online because a lot of people, when they see drummers, they just expect drummers to show off. And I'm more here to just kind of like show how to practice or what you could potentially work on, like using the free play alongs and whatnot. But people don't get that. Whoa! Whoa! Wait. Let's try that again. What's going on, brain? Here we go. Crash and burn. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay. Now we're going to do another variation. So this is going to be cheese after an accent. So this one was before. There's also the 1-2-4 variation of this, which is interesting. We're going to do cheese after an accent now. Yeah. And we go down into the timestamps, and we're going to just jump to 120. Full screen. Switching it up. Let's jump up a tens, 130. Ooh, sore. Actually, let me think about this. So, how do I want to phrase this? One of the things that I really love about playing percussion is there are many ways to play, and each different approach or technique, method, etc. has different affordances and constraints. So some techniques or approaches allow you to do some things better than others, and it simultaneously prevents you from being able to do things that other techniques allow you to do. Whether it's like mallets, like Burton is much better for some things than Stevens, which is better than Mooser or Mooser-Stevens, etc. And same thing for like traditional versus match grip versus like, are you going to play with French, American, or German technique? Like there's many different approaches to this. Are you going to use finger? Are you going to use wrist? Are you going to use a little bit of molar, etc.? So rather than thinking about what is right or wrong, think about what the affordance and constraint is for different kinds of techniques that you might see other people using, and ask them, why are you using that approach as opposed to another approach? Then you can actually learn something from them. As opposed to going, that's the wrong way to play. Okay, child who's been playing for only 2 years. Cheese after. Ew. Shaky there. Our dogs, when they'd get bathed, we would say good shaky shaky afterwards, and they'd shake all the water off. So we could try and teach them that command. It was fun. Okay. 160. Whoop. Too far. There we go. Survived it. I mean, it wasn't fantastic, but my arms didn't burst into flames. Let's see if we can get that to happen at 180. Stay tuned, folks. Today's episode of Call the Fire Department. Cool. I'm actually gonna call it here, and then get set up for Far Cry 6. I almost forgot the name of it. All right. You can find all of the chop exercises and grid variations and technique exercises, bass permutations, etc. all at the link at the top of the screen, jaredoleary.com/drum. And you can find a bunch of tips and whatnot in here. If you're curious what kind of books I recommend, if you click on this, under the lessons section, it takes you straight to the affiliate link page. And apparently the internet's going a little slow today. Interesting. But you can see books I recommend. These are the sticks I'm using, which are the Hardeman hammers. They are extra heavy. They're great for working on chops. This is the pad I'm using, which is on top of this pad, which is on top of this pad. Pad Inception. And yeah, here's some rudimental books I recommend. Most of these are affiliate links. I get about 4%-ish back. So I appreciate everybody who's used them so far. It does help me out. I'm going to set up and do some gaming stuff here. We're going to do Far Cry 6. And yeah, so you can find all the gaming stuff on /game on my website. Or again, if you go to YouTube, you can find everything neatly organized. I can't subscribe to myself. Appreciate it. Under the playlist or the home screen. And you just click on the header and it shows you only the drumming, only the gaming, or only the computer science education stuff. I am great. I hope you are also great, but I am going to end this stream. Thank you for asking, Kitten, on YouTube. Are you reading chat on YouTube? Yes, I am. Anyways, I'm going to call it here. I will be back on again in like 30 or so minutes, and we'll be doing some Far Cry, so stay tuned for that. You'll see it here, feeding my puppy, which is, a crocodile. Goodbye, everybody.